There comes a time in life when we are met with pain so deep, so overwhelming that it feels impossible to bear. We ask ourselves, why is this happening to me? We look for answers, for some kind of meaning behind the suffering. But in those moments, we fail to see one simple truth: every hardship carries a hidden blessing. Life does not always give us what we want, but it always gives us what we need. Every struggle, every moment of despair, every tear that falls is shaping us into someone stronger, someone wiser, someone who is capable of more than we ever imagined. But we can only see this when we stop resisting and start trusting. There was a time when I too thought my life had ended. Everything I had dreamed of was taken away in an instant. I was left with nothing but pain, regret, and unanswered questions. But looking back now, I realize that the very thing I once saw as my greatest misfortune turned out to be my biggest blessing. Life had a plan even when I couldn't see it. It was through that hardship that I discovered my true strength, my real purpose. Think about the most difficult moments of your life. Maybe it was losing someone you loved. Maybe it was failing at something you had poured your heart into. Maybe it was hearing words that broke you from the inside. In that moment, it felt like the end. But was it? Or was it life preparing you for something greater? We often fear pain because we think it is here to destroy us. But pain does not break us, it breaks open a new version of us. It strips away the illusions, the fears, and the doubts, and forces us to see who we truly are. It teaches us lessons we never would have learned in comfort. Have you ever noticed how the strongest people are the ones who have been through the hardest battles? The ones who smile the brightest are often the ones who have cried the most. The ones who inspire the world are the ones who have been tested by life in ways we cannot even imagine. Why? Because they chose to see their hardships as stepping stones instead of stumbling blocks. It is easy to be grateful when life is going well. It is easy to believe in hope when everything is falling into place. But the real test is to find gratitude in the moments of despair, to believe in hope when all you see is darkness, to trust that life is working in your favor even when it feels like everything is against you. You see, the problem is not that life is unfair. The problem is that we expect it to be easy. We expect everything to go according to our plans, and when it doesn't, we fall apart. But what if the detour is actually leading you to something better? What if the setback is just setting you up for a greater comeback? There are people who have lost everything and yet have built a life beyond their wildest dreams. There are people who have faced unimaginable pain and yet have used it to light the way for others. There are people who have been rejected, abandoned, and broken, but instead of giving up, they chose to rise. They chose to turn their wounds into wisdom, their pain into purpose. And so can you. The moment you stop seeing hardships as punishments and start seeing them as opportunities, everything changes. You begin to realize that every tear you cried was watering the seeds of your future. Every door that closed was guiding you to the right one. Every struggle you endured was preparing you for something bigger than yourself. So the next time life tests you, don't ask, why me? Instead, ask, what is this teaching me? Because one day you will look back and realize that every hardship, every challenge, and every moment of pain was shaping you into the person you were meant to be. And when that day comes, you will smile and say, now I understand why it had to happen. Life has a way of testing us. It throws challenges our way, sometimes so unexpectedly that we are left shaken, questioning everything we once believed in. We face moments where we feel lost, broken, and completely defeated. It is in those moments that we begin to wonder if we have the strength to carry on. But what if I told you that every challenge, every hardship, every moment of struggle is not breaking you, it is shaping you. It is preparing you for something greater than you can see right now. We often think of difficulties as something to fear, something to avoid. But the truth is, without challenges, we would never grow. Without struggles, we would never discover our strength. Just like fire refines gold and pressure turns coal into diamonds, life's challenges are not meant to destroy us. They are meant to shape us into the person we are destined to become. Think about it. If life always went according to plan, if everything came easy, would we ever truly appreciate success? Would we ever understand the value of perseverance? Would we ever push ourselves beyond our limits? The answer is no. Because it is only through challenges that we find out what we are truly capable of. There was a time in my life when I thought I had lost everything. I had dreams, ambitions, a vision for my future, and in a single moment, all of it was taken away. I felt helpless, trapped in a reality I never chose. I questioned why life was so unfair, why I had to go through something so painful. But looking back now, I realized that those challenges were not meant to break me, they were meant to shape me. They were meant to teach me resilience, to push me beyond my fears, to help me see that I was far stronger than I ever believed. You see, strength is not something we are born with. It is something we build over time. Every time life knocks you down and you choose to rise, you are building strength. Every time you face a setback and refuse to give up, you are shaping yourself into someone unstoppable. Every challenge, every failure, every heartbreak is a lesson, a stepping stone towards becoming the person you are meant to be. The strongest people in the world are not the ones who have never struggled. They are the ones who have faced unimaginable difficulties and refused to let those difficulties define them. They are the ones who have turned their pain into power, their obstacles into opportunities. And if they can do it, so can you. Think about the stories that inspire you. The people who have overcome the odds, who have risen from the ashes, who have transformed their pain into something meaningful. What do they all have in common? They didn't let their struggles break them. They used their struggles as fuel to push forward. They embraced the challenges, knowing that each one was shaping them into something greater. It is easy to feel discouraged when life gets tough. It is easy to believe that the challenges we face are too much to handle. But the truth is, life never gives us more than we can bear. The struggles you are facing today are not meant to hold you back, they are meant to prepare you for the future. They are making you stronger, wiser, more resilient. They are shaping you into someone who can handle whatever comes next. So the next time you face a challenge, don't see it as a roadblock. See it as a stepping stone. See it as an opportunity to grow, to learn, to become better than you were before. Life does not always give us what we ask for. Sometimes it gives us what we never expected. Sometimes it takes away what we thought we could never live without. And in those moments of loss, rejection, and failure, we feel like we are drowning in pain. But what if I told you that rejection and loss are not the end of the story? What if I told you they are the very things that lead us towards something greater? We live in a world where rejection is often seen as failure. When someone walks away, when a door closes, when an opportunity slips through our fingers, we feel like we are not enough. We start to question our worth. But what we don't realize is that rejection is not a sign that we are unworthy, it is a sign that we are being redirected. It is life's way of telling us not here, not this. Something better is waiting for you. Think about the times you have been rejected. Maybe it was a dream job that didn't work out. Maybe it was a relationship that ended when you least expected it. Maybe it was a goal you worked so hard for, only to see it slip away. In those moments, it felt like the end of the world. But was it? Or was it life clearing the path for something greater? Sometimes the things we desperately want are not meant for us. And sometimes the people we hold on to so tightly are not meant to stay. But instead of seeing rejection as a setback, what if we started seeing it as a blessing? What if we started believing that every no is just making space for the right yes? I remember a time in my life when I felt completely lost. I had dreams, plans, and a vision for how my life was supposed to be. But life had different plans. Everything I thought was certain was taken away from me. I lost the future I had imagined for myself, and for a long time I couldn't understand why. But now, when I look back, I realize that if I had gotten what I wanted back then, I would have never become the person I am today. Rejection teaches us resilience. It teaches us to stand tall even when the world tells us we are not enough. It teaches us that our worth is not defined by someone else's approval. And most importantly, it teaches us that what is meant for us will never be lost. And then there is loss. Losing something or someone we love is one of the hardest things we will ever go through. There are moments when we feel like we will never recover, that the pain will never go away. But loss, no matter how painful, teaches us something invaluable. It teaches us the true meaning of gratitude. Have you ever noticed how we often take things for granted until they are gone? We rush through life, always chasing the next thing, always looking ahead without truly appreciating what we have. But when we experience loss, we realize how precious every moment is. We learn to cherish the people around us, to be present, to love deeply. Because we understand in the most painful way that nothing lasts forever. Loss is painful, but it is also a reminder to live fully, to express love without hesitation, to hold on to the moments that matter. And though it hurts, loss also shapes us. It teaches us empathy. It makes us stronger. And it reminds us that even in our weakest moments, we have the power to rise. So the next time you face rejection, don't see it as a failure, see it as redirection. The next time you experience loss, don't let it harden you, let it teach you gratitude. Life rarely goes according to plan. We set goals, we dream of a future, we create expectations of how things should be. But then suddenly, without warning, everything changes. The path we were walking on disappears. The doors we were counting on close. And we find ourselves standing at a crossroads, confused and broken. It is in those moments that we ask, why is this happening to me? Why did everything fall apart? But what if I told you that life is not ending, it is redirecting you? What if I told you that every detour, every closed door, every unexpected turn is not pushing you away from your destiny, but guiding you toward it? We often see setbacks as failures. When a dream doesn't work out, when a relationship ends, when an opportunity slips away, we believe that we have lost everything. But what we don't realize in that moment is that life is not taking something away from us, it is making space for something better. We may not understand it now, but one day when we look back, we will see that the redirections were blessings in disguise. I remember a time when I had my life all planned out. I knew where I was going, I knew what I wanted, and I was certain that everything was falling into place. But then in an instant, everything changed. I lost control over my life, and for the longest time, I believed that my story had ended. But now when I look back, I realize that it was not the end, it was the beginning of something even greater. The dreams I thought I had lost were replaced with dreams I never even knew I had. The person I thought I was supposed to be was transformed into someone even stronger. Life was not punishing me, it was preparing me. And the same is true for you. How many times in life have you held on to something so tightly, believing it was meant for you, only to have it taken away? And in that moment, it felt like the worst thing that could ever happen. But then as time passed, you realized that what you thought was a setback was actually a setup for something better. The job you didn't get led you to the career that truly fulfilled you. The relationship that broke you taught you the value of self-love. The failure that embarrassed you became the motivation that pushed you towards success. You see, life is like a puzzle. When you're in the middle of it, all you see are scattered, broken pieces. Nothing makes sense. You don't know how it will all come together. But if you trust the process, if you keep going even when you don't understand, one day the pieces will fit. One day you will step back and see the full picture. The problem is we are so afraid of change. We hold on to what is familiar, even when it no longer serves us. We cling to comfort, even when it is keeping us from growing. But life knows what is best for us, even when we don't. And sometimes the only way for us to reach our true potential is for life to push us out of our comfort zone. Think about the strongest, most inspiring people you know. Are they the ones who had an easy, predictable journey? No. They are the ones who faced unexpected challenges, who were thrown into the unknown, who had their plans destroyed only to come back stronger, wiser, and more powerful than before. That is the beauty of redirection. It forces us to grow. It pushes us toward opportunities we never would have considered. It challenges us to become the person we were meant to be. But the only way to see this is to let go of the belief that things must always go according to plan. So if you're facing a detour right now, if life has pulled you in a direction you never expected, trust that it is leading you somewhere meaningful. Just because you can't see the destination yet doesn't mean you are lost. Sometimes the road we didn't plan for is the one that leads us exactly where we are meant to be. One day you will look back and realize that every closed door, every unexpected turn, every painful ending was actually leading you to a new beginning. Life is unpredictable. No matter how much we plan, no matter how hard we try to control things, life has its own way of unfolding. Sometimes things work out the way we want, but more often than not, they don't. And when life takes an unexpected turn, when we find ourselves in situations we never imagined, we begin to question everything. Why is this happening? What did I do to deserve this? Why me? But what if I told you that every single thing that happens, every joy, every sorrow, every success, every failure is happening for a reason? What if I told you that nothing in life is random, that even the struggles you face today are playing a role in shaping your tomorrow? It is easy to trust life when things are going our way. When everything is falling into place, we feel confident, hopeful, and full of faith. But the real challenge is trusting life when things fall apart, when doors close, when dreams shatter, when we feel like we have lost everything. That is when our faith is truly tested. But it is in those very moments that we must remind ourselves life knows what it is doing. Even when we don't understand it, even when we can't see the bigger picture, everything is happening exactly as it should. Think about a time in your life when you faced something difficult, something you thought you would never recover from. In that moment, it felt like the end. But now when you look back, don't you see how that experience shaped you? Don't you see how it made you stronger, wiser, and more resilient? That is the power of trusting the process. We often resist life's plan because we think we know better. We hold on to things that are not meant for us. We chase people who are not meant to stay. We try to force situations that are not aligned with our destiny. But the truth is, what is meant for you will always find its way to you. And what is not meant for you, no matter how much you fight for it, will eventually slip away. Not because you are not worthy, but because life has something better in store. I remember a time when I thought my life was ruined. I had dreams, ambitions, and a clear path I wanted to follow. But life had different plans. Everything I had built, everything I had hoped for, was taken away from me in an instant. And for the longest time, I couldn't understand why. I kept asking, why did this happen to me? But now, when I look back, I realize that if life had not taken me down a different path, I would have never discovered my true purpose. I would have never become the person I am today. And the same is true for you. Sometimes the pain you are feeling today is simply life pushing you towards something greater. Sometimes the delays, the rejections, the disappointments are protecting you from something that is not meant for you. And sometimes what feels like an ending is actually a new beginning in disguise. But you will only see this if you trust the process. Look at nature. The seasons change, the sun rises and sets, the rivers flow effortlessly toward the ocean. Everything in nature moves in perfect harmony, without resistance, without fear. And yet, as human beings, we try to fight life, we question, we doubt, we cling to what is familiar even when it is no longer serving us. But just like nature, we must learn to trust. We must learn to believe that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. The truth is, life is not happening to you, it is happening for you. Every challenge, every setback, every unexpected twist is a part of a greater plan. A plan that is not meant to break you, but to build you. A plan that is not meant to destroy your dreams, but to guide you toward the dreams that are truly meant for you. So if you are going through a difficult time right now, if you feel like life is not making sense, I want you to hold on. I want you to stop resisting, stop questioning, and start trusting. Trust that every moment, every experience, every hardship is shaping into the person you were meant to be. Trust that life knows what it is doing, even when you don't. Life is a journey filled with highs and lows, joy and sorrow, success and failure. We all go through moments of happiness when everything feels perfect. But we also go through times of pain when nothing seems to make sense. And in those painful moments, it is easy to feel lost. It is easy to wonder if things will ever get better. It is easy to question whether the pain we are experiencing serves any purpose at all. But what if I told you that every experience, good or bad, has a reason? That even the pain you are feeling today is shaping you into the person you are meant to be. One of the hardest truths to accept in life is that pain is necessary for growth. We don't like pain. We try to avoid it at all costs. We wish for a life that is free from suffering, free from disappointments, free from heartbreaks. But the reality is, without pain, there is no growth. Without challenges, there is no strength. Without struggles, there is no transformation. Think about the most difficult moments in your life. The times when you felt completely broken. The times when you thought you wouldn't make it through. Now look at yourself today. You are still here. You survived. And not only did you survive, but you also became stronger, wiser, more resilient. That is the power of pain. It doesn't break you, it builds you. Pain teaches us lessons that success never can. It teaches us patience. It teaches us resilience. It teaches us compassion. When we experience pain, we learn to appreciate the moments of joy. When we go through struggles, we learn to value the people who stand by our side. When we fall, we learn how to rise again. And every time we rise, we become a little stronger than before. But the problem is, when we are in pain, we only focus on the suffering. We don't see the strength we are gaining. We don't see how we are evolving. We only see the difficulty, the sadness, the frustration. And that is why so many of us give up. That is why so many of us stop believing in ourselves. But I want you to remember this: just because you don't see the purpose of your pain right now doesn't mean it doesn't exist. One day when you look back, you will understand. One day you will see how every struggle was shaping you. Pain also teaches us empathy. When we experience heartbreak, we learn to be more understanding of others who are hurting. When we face failures, we become more compassionate toward others who are struggling. When we go through darkness, we learn to be the light for someone else. In this way, pain doesn't just change us, it allows us to change the world around us. I remember a time when I thought my pain would never end. Life had taken everything from me. My dreams, my plans, my sense of purpose, it all felt like it had been ripped away. And for the longest time, I couldn't understand why. I couldn't see any reason for my suffering. But now, when I look back, I realize that my pain gave me a new purpose. It gave me a new strength. It helped me become the person I was always meant to be. And the same is true for you. No matter what you are going through right now, I want you to know that your pain is not in vain. It is not meaningless. It is not happening just to make you suffer. It is happening to transform you. It is happening to prepare you for something greater. Growth is never easy. Change is never comfortable. But if you embrace your struggles, if you allow your pain to teach you, you will come out of it stronger than ever before. You will look back one day and realize that every moment of suffering was leading you to a better version of yourself. So the next time life tests you, don't ask, why is this happening to me? Instead, ask, what is this teaching me? Life is a journey of unexpected turns, hidden blessings, and lessons disguised as hardships. Every rejection, every loss, every painful moment is not the end, it is a new beginning. The struggles you face today are shaping you into the person you are meant to be. The setbacks you experience are redirecting you towards something greater. And the pain you endure is building a strength within you that you never knew you had. So embrace the journey. Trust the process. Even when things don't make sense, even when the road ahead looks uncertain, believe that everything is happening for a reason. One day you will look back and realize that every tear, every challenge, and every detour was guiding you toward your true purpose. As you move forward in life, never let fear hold you back. Never let failure define you. And never stop believing in yourself. Because you are stronger than you think, braver than you know, and capable of more than you can imagine. May your journey be filled with courage, resilience, and unwavering faith. May you always find light even in the darkest moments. And may you always remember that everything happens for a reason. Good luck and thank you.